Hey everyone, Jason back once again with another diecast review. Today's featured diecast is the IXO Models 1/43 scale 1966 Mack R Series tractor. Now I picked mine up from my friends over at diecastmodelswholesale.com. Link to their website down in the description below. Before we get to the diecast itself, let's go ahead and take a quick look at the packaging. First up on the front we have this gold foil IXO Models logo. It looks fantastic. The packaging is done in a gold foil gold, a black, a high gloss black, and normal orange. On the front, you can see high gloss IXO Models logo, a orange IXO Models logo on the insert in the background. On the top, we do have another window for viewing the model inside the packaging, as well as on the front, you got a major window. Those high gloss IXO Models logo continue onto the top. The ends of the packaging are blank, as well as the back, so that is the packaging. On the bottom, we have all your legal information. There you go. IXOModels.com, Facebook.com/IXOModels. Of course, this is officially licensed product for Mack, so you don't have to worry about any unlicensed models in this review. So that is the packaging. Up next, the model comes on a base, which I did try to remove the model from the base, but no screwdriver I had would make it come off. But it does come on a base inside an acrylic cover with the IXO Models logo on that. So on the base, we have IXO Models. Of course, item number, Mack R Series 1966, and the model is featured nicely on the display base. It does have this plastic form to keep the tires from rolling when it's in transit, but like I said, it's held in by two screws, and these two screws would not come off for anything I had. But let's go ahead and get to the model itself now. Starting off, we do have the Mack Bulldog hood ornament, Mack on the front. Of course, we do have the various license plates. Inserted plastic details for your headlights. Got this really nice replicated front bumper and grille guard. Got your mirrors on the front fenders. Of course, the wheels and tires look great. There's no opening parts on this, so you can't really open the hood, but you can see like simulated molded details in behind the wheels for the engine. Of course, Mack on the hood and more Mack branding. Got the fuel tank right there. Of course, trucking company branding on the door, various DOT numbers and everything on the truck as well. Of course, we do have molded in, actually, they're individual hood windshield wipers. We've got white steering wheel, interior is all black except for the steering wheel. Got mirrors on the door, grab handle, of course, silver painted details for your door handle. Up on the roof, we have this massive, like, I guess wind deflector you'd want to call it. Lights, which are inserted as well. Got your air horns. Now I believe this truck is supposed to be the truck from the movie Convoy. The only problem is the sleeper portion of the cab has too much of a gap. In the movie, you're able to get from the cab to the sleeper just by climbing behind it. You ain't doing that with this one, so that is the only problem I see with this model is the massive gap between the sleeper box and the cab itself. Of course, you do have a molded door on the sleeper itself. You've got all the DOT markings right here. Various numbers and labeling and everything on the truck as well. Once again, there's all the Mack logo and everything. Interior, like I said, is done nicely. Both seats are just black, but you got your white steering wheel. There's your detail once again, and actually it looks like the windshield wipers are just molded in part of the windshield, but you do have trim around the windshield that looks good. Of course, once again, the fuel tank, grab handle looks great. You do have a window in the back of the cab, which once again in the movie that whole back is open because it's connected to the actual sleeper portion of the truck. Back behind here we do have your airlines and everything. You do have fifth wheel, which is pivoting. You can see you can pivot forward and downwards, so that's nice detail. See all the detail back here. Like I said, wheels and tires look great. Got Mack on the mud flaps. There's your license plate on the rear, as well as some lights. Again, here you go. The right side should be pretty much the same as the left side. You got your exhaust stack right here. And of course your air cleaner assembly right there on the right side. Once again, if you look behind the wheels, you can sort of see like a simulated engine, meaning that nothing opens on this. This is all metal, so no resin or anything like that. Once again, like I said, that gap is not necessary. So yeah, if you've seen the movie Convoy, you know what I'm talking about. There's no gap between the cab and the sleeper portion of the truck. But other than that, really, it's a really fantastic model in 1/43 scale by IXO Models, which, if you subscribe to the channel when they release their 1/64 scale and 1/18 scale IndyCar diecast, those will be featured here on the channel as well. So yeah, that is the IXO Models 1/43 scale 1966 Mack R Series tractor that I picked up from my friends over at diecastmodelswholesale.com. Link to their website will be in the video description below. If you enjoyed this review, give it a thumbs up, subscribe for more. I post new diecast reviews throughout the week, so be sure to click the bell for notifications. If you enjoyed this review, give it a thumbs up, find me on X. See you next time for an all-new diecast review. Bye.